Happy Double Sunday. This is the Woo Report, episode 56. I'm your host, Sam Woo. Today's episode is titled, Forget Playoffs, Focus on Fundamentals. Yeah, well, the Devils are on in the midst of a major funk with no end in sight, losing 8 of their last 9 games, back-to-back home games with the New York Rangers. That is a big no-no in Devils fandom. So I guess a lot of us have been doing a lot of soul searching with this 2021 Devils season. And I think the expectations were kind of artificially high when they started the season. Pretty decent, a lot of surprises. Heck, we were even saying, hey, Lindy Ruff, Coach of the Year, possibly, after turning this around. Well, tell you the truth, the reality finally hit. This team is not very good. And does this team have potential? Absolutely. But we have to look at the situation here. The reality is, brand new coach, brand new system, Mark Recchi coming into the mix. A lot of new players, a lot of young players. Nico Hischier starting the season on the injury list, then the COVID list, and now back on the injury list. Named captain. So there has a lot been going on, especially the COVID pause. And if you want to salvage this season, I think we need to focus on the fundamentals. Forget about the playoffs. I think we're way out of the playoff scene. Sure, you hope that the Devils would get on a nice streak, but the way this season is built, to win the Mass Mutual, or at least get the last 4 spots, it's going to be tough, especially with 3-point games. So it's going to be hard to climb in the standings. Happy Devils Sunday to you, Rocco, Omar. Really appreciate it. And the fundamentals is what I like to see. I right now, it's not that I'm a negative fan or wave the white towel. I'm just being realistic right now. Let them grow. Let them grow. Down the middle, let them grow. And at the same time, we really can't be wasting time when we have Jack Hughes on an entry-level contract, because eventually you're going to have to pay the man, right? You're going to have to pay him. So it's a good time right now to focus on the fundamentals. I'm not saying that this season is a wash, but really we need to use it as a springboard for next season. Get back to basics. Seriously, let's get back to basics defensively. I think often right now the team is in such a funk that a lot of the passes that they were, especially the breakout passes, they weren't crisp. They were long passes. It's like almost they were looking for a Hail Mary, a miracle to happen. Again, the other team's offensive zone. When Jack Hughes, remember that the first game against the New York Rangers, the puck went a long way and then bounced, got a lucky bounce, and he scored to take a 1-0 lead. I mean, those things don't really happen too often. We can't rely on that type of plays. We have to rely on the system and be systematic about it, and it all goes back to fundamentals. I liked what PK said at the end of the first period when he was interviewed by Erica Wachter. He said, we got to simplify our game. We got to keep it simple. And that's what the Devils really need to do. Not worry about the standings at this point. I mean, heck, you know what? We've been through this before. I like to see development. I like to see progress. Hey, Stacey White. Stacey White is on Facebook Live. We're also on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. This is the Woo Report on the Let's Go Devils podcast. So I want to see certain things. I'm looking forward to this year's draft. There's a lot of defensemen. Owen Power. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of big D's in the prospect pool. Potential New Jersey Devils draftees. Devils need defense. They need a stopper back there. You can get one in free agency, or you can get one in the draft. But the Devils need somebody on defense to just shut the top line down. And we have a core nucleus to build around. And I can't wait till Dawson Mercer and Alexander Holtz eventually come up to the big club called the New Jersey Devils. And Shakir Mukhamadullin, the wild card in all this, again, another big defenseman. I mean, look, I know it's a little premature right now, but I'm getting excited. This 2022 draft. If they could get a big 6'6" defenseman like Power, and they're able to get that top overall pick and pick a big defenseman. Also, Jack Hughes' little brother, is also in the draft as well. But if they could get a big defenseman and Mukhamadullin pans out and Tommy Fitzgerald was right in picking him that early in the draft with Kevin Ball, hey, that's a pretty big defense back there. And I think this team gets pushed around quite a bit. A lot of it, I see a lot of stick checking. Their back checkings are weak. I like to see physical play. I like to see Miles Wood use his body, but he can't be the only one on the team. It's got to be a team effort. I like to see Jack Hughes throw his weight around too. You know, I'm not expecting much, but it's just a mindset. I want them to be aggressive, attacking the play, attacking the puck, disrupting passing lanes, blocking shots. This team doesn't block shots very well. Face-offs, starting to improve, but we need to focus on the fundamentals, the little things that makes a team successful and do well. Questions, comments, you can put it out on Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube Live, and Twitch. I'm going to be looking around and seeing what everybody else is saying. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm wearing my NASA t-shirt because I hope this team goes places, goes all over the place. You know, to first place one day. But yeah, we got to take baby steps here. We got to be patient. Am I happy about being patient? No, because I want to win now. I always want to win now. I've been trying to win. I'm such a win now person. I've been pissed off since 2013. Seriously, I've been pissed off since 2013. Okay, trust the process. 2015, well, you know, and everyone said, Sam, you got to be patient. It's called a rebuild. And in my mind, the Devils have never really rebuild. They always reload. Okay, let's rebuild. Well, when is this rebuild going to end? Well, the rebuild will end once we get the fundamentals down. Forget about the playoff. Get the fundamentals down. Let's at least make 2 breakout passes in our own zone, outlet passes from defense to offense. Let's execute 2 in a row. Going into the other team's zone. How about a little dump and change? Get some fresh legs out in the ice. Dump and chase. Let's get back to serious fundamentals. Let's not wait for the perfect shot. I mean, Nathan Bastian's goal yesterday gave me hope. because he just put it on net. He just put it on net and asked questions later, and that's when good things happen. When you put it on net and you crash the net, that puck can bounce anywhere in front of the crease. But you give yourself a better chance when you have your forward crashing the net and picking up opportunities. Crawl before walk. Michael Hayes says, yes, we were a little spoiled. You were right. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. We were spoiled for many years because, look, we had the best goaltender of all time, and that just so happens to be the best goaltender in the system for many years, Martin Brodeur. Craig Best not enjoying the ride, LOL. Well, you know what? I'm not enjoying the ride either, but you know what? By the time, this team gets their heads out of their asses and start playing with, fundamentally sound hockey, yeah, we're going to start to enjoy it. And you know what? This is all pent-up anger. Devils fans haven't had this pent-up anger since 94. When they lost to the New York Rangers, that Game 7. And back then, we've never won the Stanley Cup. Right now, we've got 3, but you know what? We're almost going on 20 years. That's a long time, 2 decades. Last time the Devils won the Stanley Cup. 2012, I tell you what, 2012, they actually had a shot. A red-hot LA team, well-rested LA team, cruising through the playoffs, through the Western Conference. And that penalty Bernier had, which should have been icing before he hit that guy. That's what I say. We totally need to shoot first. We try to make pretty plays way too much, Craig Best. I completely agree. Rocco, when do they start trading some older veterans? Do you think it will happen soon? I'll be honest with you, Rocco. I'm not so sure if you can get rid of these veterans. And here's why. The economics are in play, right? Because a lot of these veterans like PK Subban and Travis Zajac, they've got hefty contracts. But the Devils, are not exactly free spending on player contracts. You got to meet the minimum. You got to meet the floor. I don't know if you really can. I'm sure you can make it work. But again, trading some of our assets for players that, I don't know, take up some cap room. I don't know. And what are you going to actually get out of these players? 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, 2nd rounder. You get some cap space. So I don't know. I mean, would you trade some veterans? At this point, I want to trade everybody and start over. But the team has to play better fundamentally. For at least if you're going to trade your veterans, I'm sure you can get a little bit more trade value out of them if they're playing better and focus on their fundamentals. Bring out some younger guys to play. You know what? I completely agree with you, Rocco. I don't think it's such a bad idea since Binghamton is next door at the other rink inside Prudential Center. Not a bad idea. Well, this is a triple header Sunday. This concludes the Woo Report. We'll be back for Devils postgame. For a quick postgame after the Devils take on the Boston Bruins. And then we have our 9 p.m. Eastern Let's Go Devils podcast. They're on after with Beer Baron, Shorts Guy, Scotty, and myself. Oh, yeah. And thank you for making us the most commented Devils podcast in the history of New Jersey Devils podcasts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.